Welcome to How to Love Living podcast. My name is Jeremy, and this podcast is just to help you learn how to love living. What are the things that can help you enhance your life? What things can you do to work on just happiness and fulfillment? So, over the past few episodes, I've gone a lot over Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We've gone through self-actualization. In previous episodes, we'd gone through and talked about just goal setting. And in this episode, I just want to have a follow-up on our goal setting and how that looks and how that functions. And we've all set New Year's resolutions. I think this is a good time to kind of go back and revisit them a bit and just talk a bit about the goals we had in the new year or in life in general. And then talk about, for me, I'll talk about just my experiences so far, the setbacks, the moving forward, and the success I've had. So one of the goals I had set is I wanted to get healthier, and that included some weight loss because I want to fit into some cute clothes I have. That includes health, just health in general. I want to get my knees repaired, and I want to get just healthy in general. And I'm by far not unhealthy, but I could be healthier, and I want to be healthier. I want to be able to go skiing. I want to be able to run again. And that's really important to me. Unfortunately, my knees and things have been hurting me. And so one of the goals I had was to start that recovery. I know what I need to do. I know the exercises I need to do. I know the effort that I have to put in. But when you have a busy life and you have a lot of things going on and we're struggling with the pandemic and all that stuff, or any of the life stresses that kind of come along, it's really hard to take on more. But I really wanted to do this. So I went through and set a goal that I'm going to get healthier, that I'm going to work on my weight loss. And it has been a journey. Just working through the challenges of it. I texted friends in my support group to just get support with them as I'm going through this journey. And it's been interesting. I think that as I go through it, so I signed up for group sessions where I'm doing group workouts, and it's been very painful. My back got thrown out for a bit. My knees are actually getting better, which is good. And then I got a nice I got some rug burns where I was doing setups, and it hurts like crazy. But I feel healthier and I feel better. There are days when I don't want to work out anymore. There's days when I want to get up and just ignore it, and I'm not. And that's one of the things I'll say about goal setting is there are going to be days you're going to falter. And there was days I was faltering with the workout. There were days where I would not want to go to the gym because I'm getting up at 5 a.m. in the morning to go to the gym. There are days when I just don't feel like closing my circles on my Apple Watch or whatever, health tracking device, you have. For me, I have the Apple Watch. but I don't get caught up in one specific day and let that drive me. I kind of just keep plugging along. And if I have a day setback, if I eat something that I shouldn't have eaten, or if I miss the workout, which I have once, then I just let it go. I acknowledge and then I let it go. And I'm fighting through the pain. I'm uncomfortable and in pain just with the general workout stuff, but I'm fighting through it. And I think that's one of the things that as you work on your goals, obviously, if the goals were super, super, super easy, they'd be already integrated into your life. And so I think that it's really acknowledging that they can be tough. It can be tough to want to stay on track. And it can be tough to want to just let it go and just want to say, hey, I can't achieve this and I'm moving on. I think that that's one of the things I've learned in goal setting was understanding the importance of small incremental steps and understanding the importance of just getting up and doing it day after day after day. And if you have a setback, getting up the next day and doing it and not investing a lot of mental effort into it, rather just work on getting it built into your lifestyle. And that's what I'm doing right now is trying to get the workouts built into my lifestyle. As well, I really want to move this podcast forward. I want to get it on YouTube. I want to start recording actual live videos where I'm recording, you can see me. I'm doing that incrementally as well. So I think it's going to be a huge leap for me to actually go on to video. And I acknowledge that. And I think that that will be the next challenge is getting over that fear, I guess is the best way to put it. And just getting on video, just setting down, setting up the studio, and then recording on video is my next goal. And I'm going to achieve it. I already know I'm going to achieve it. It's just a matter of getting to that point. So first steps were to start the podcast, which I started this back in November, and I've kept up with it every week, except for the week where we had the DDoS attack on our podcast hosting company. Now I want to get it on YouTube, and I've achieved that. So if you go check out How to Love Living on YouTube, you'll find every episode out there. I created graphics and After Effects to make the video have a moving element in it. So you'll see the audio spectrum line on the graph, and it's pretty cool. It was fun, or on the graphic. It was fun to create, and it was fun to learn more about After Effects because I understand that as I get more into video, which is where I want to go with this, then I'm gonna have to understand After Effects for special effects in videos, understand Premiere Pro, and all the different applications that help create creative content, creative digital content anyway. So that's next. So I'm very proud of myself that I gotten the episodes up on YouTube, and I'm uploading all the back episodes. So I'm going to get this one uploaded, but I am uploading all the back episodes, and that's been fun. And it's been rewarding to get it out there. And I'm playing the long game with this. So I'm playing the long game with the podcast. I'm playing the long game with YouTube, and I'm patient. And I know that things don't come instantly, and I'm okay with that. I know that the things that I'm talking about are at least true to me. So the challenges I'm having, how I navigate through things like goals are true to me. And so that's what I believe with the podcast. And I know that with health, in the same vein, that it's important for me to be healthy. It's important for me to feel good about myself in my health. And it's important to me. It felt so rewarding when I could go and run marathons and run half marathons. So I want to get back to that point and start being healthy. Now, am I going to be like a health nut? No. I mean, I would be happy if I run like 5 days a week again and hit the gym routinely and then could do things physically that, you know, I could do with other people, like getting back into skiing and stuff. So I'm hoping my knees will keep on this route, which is they're feeling amazing. I went from chronic pain a couple months ago where my knee was swollen, it was just irritated, and now it's recovering and it's getting more strength. I'm building more core strength and all that. And I'm happy with the results, but it's not easy. And that's what I'll say about goals is I hope that your goals are things where when you get the results from your goals, you'll be happy with them, but it's not going to be easy. It's a journey, and it's hard to change yourself. It is really hard because it's almost out of sheer willpower that you're doing it. And I found the best methodology for change was just slow incremental steps. So it's, just making a mistake, dusting yourself back up, back off, and getting up and keep going forward. Have a setback, dust yourself off, and just get up and keep going forward. And some of us, struggle with depression and struggle with anxiety and struggle with other mental health issues. And so that dust off period can be more challenging, is what I'll say. And with those challenges, for me, what I've had to do is I just had to patiently navigate through it. So when I'd have a mental setback, if I got anxious or if I felt really down, like especially with the pain, I think between the pandemic, the pain, my back where I was laid out for a day and stuff like that, it was morally kind of just sad. Like I was just very, very sad about, the pain and all that. But I got through it. I just, experienced the sadness. I accepted it. I accepted the pain and I came to peace with it. And one thing I know, so if I'm going through moments of struggle where there are setbacks or if I'm in some difficult place, the great thing about life that I've had in my experience with life so far is it's all temporary. And a lot of times, this horrible thing you're going through, in a year's time, you won't even remember it because new things have come up and new things and experiences are happening. And so, in that experience, what I've kind of determined is it's very difficult to get heavily invested in one moment in time. It's very difficult to do that. What rather you want to do is you want to focus on long-term trending. And this is how I look at work as well. Like someone's going to have a bad day. Someone's going to have setbacks. You can't judge an individual based on a bad day or a setback. You got to judge them based on long-term running history. And even then, I don't know if any of us are apt judges of each other because we're all just human trying the best we can. Rather, what I would say is accept people and love them and accept yourself and love yourself and accept all the flaws and the grittiness and all the things that make your character unique. And that's what I've been doing. And these goals I have are not goals centered around me not accepting myself, but rather their goals centered around me wanting to have a better experience or have a different experience or have something new. So the podcast is a whole new experience for me. With the weight loss and the health aspect, for me, it's just about, I think back on when I'd go on long runs And I miss that. And I know people are. I think a lot of people are like, "You miss running," and I'll tell you that running is hard. Like it is not a fun activity initially, and it took me a long time to fall in love with running. And what I'll say is, running has once you get a lot of running under your belt, it has a very meditative aspect to it. So, and it's hard. It's not easy. Like, and here's how I'll describe it: is there are times, 7 years ago, I'd go on a 10-mile run, and I missed that so badly. So I'm gonna get back there, but I'd go on a 10-mile run, and probably like mile 5, because like the first like 4 or 5 miles were pretty easy for me. I just get out and do it, and it's pretty rudimentary. But after like mile 5, I would hit like this zone, and it was so amazing feeling. And that zone was, my body was in complete motion. I didn't have any feelings of good or bad with my body, but my mind was just so super clear. It just, there was nothing in the world at that moment that could cause me anything. It was just euphoric almost. And I miss that feeling. I miss being able to go for a run and have that euphoric feeling of just peace and clarity. And it's weird, but I think if you go through it, and of course my experiences may be different from yours, but if you can, it's, I think they call it like a runner's high. And I've had that experience, and it's amazing. Your mind is just clear. Like, that's, I think the best way I could put it is, your body's in motion and your mind is just at peace. You don't have thoughts, you don't have anything. You just feel like at one with that moment, and it's a beautiful experience. But then your body, after a couple miles of that, your body kicks in and goes, I'm in pain here, thank you. And then you kind of get out of the high. But yeah, I miss that. So I want to get towards back towards that. Plus I love running as part of my lifestyle, so I'm working on that. So I'm not running right now. I'm not going to take a risk with my knees. I'm going to wait for, the knee pain to be completely gone. One thing I've learned about physical pain, and this is maybe a tip of the day, is if you're going through physical pain, do not push your body farther. Like, let your body heal. Do the things, or if you're pushing it farther, work with a professional who can help you with that. But don't injure yourself further. And here's my experience, and especially like the knee and back, those two things. Now, other things I can push a bit more and it'll be fine. But the knee and backs, I think, are the weakest part of the human body. And I was running in Boston one time, and I was just running along, and I felt like a twinge of pain in my knee. I'm like, oh, whatever. So I keep running, and it gets getting worse, and it's getting worse. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna power through. We're gonna finish this run, and then we'll figure out what's going on with the knee. So I power through it, and about halfway through the run, I couldn't run anymore. Like, I couldn't even bend my knee. Like, as swollen as, I really injured myself, and I ended up being injured for 2 years after that. And it took my knees a long time to kind of recover from that. And that taught me a lesson. Hey, Jeremy, when you're running and your knee hurts, stop running. That's simple. And give your knees the space and everything to kind of recover, and do like the exercises you need to do to recover. So that's, for whatever that's worth, that's kind of my experience on goal setting and my experience on setbacks and stuff like that. And so, as I've always communicated, life is a lifelong journey. So there isn't going to be like a day where things just, there isn't a day you're going to achieve everything. There isn't a day where you're going to have this goal that you achieved and you're going to just live in euphoria, but rather you'll achieve the goal and then you'll level up to the next level and want to achieve something new. And that's life. And sometimes when you achieve a goal, it can be anticlimactic. And what I'll say to that is, yeah, you achieved it. The achievement is great, but the reward isn't the achievement. The reward is the journey. The reward is learning something about yourself or learning something about the process. It isn't the actual achievement. The achievement feels great, but it's a very fleeting moment. It doesn't last long. And for me, typically, I'm like, oh, I achieved that. And then I move on to the next thing. So that's what I'll say to that. Now, of course, your mileage may vary. So depending on your personality and stuff, you may actually get a euphoric feeling on achievement. I don't. And in fact, in a way, the people I've talked to, all the experiences of those who achieve stuff is that there is kind of an anticlimactic moment after the achievement where you're like, well, what do I do now? And that's where you gotta say, okay, what's next? And yeah, that's how achievement works, in my opinion, anyway. Well, this has been How to Love Living. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for subscribing. Go out on YouTube, like the video, subscribe, share with your friends if you find this content useful or helpful. I am going to be putting myself on camera. I'm working on that. That's my next goal. Now that I've gotten some of the videos up on YouTube, I'm going to be uploading more today and just keep plugging away at it and keep making efforts and just kind of see where this journey with YouTube and with podcasting goes. And yeah, and be with the process and know that I'm putting good things out into the world and that I'm hopefully helping at least one person. Because if I'm helping just one person, it's all worth it. Well, have a great week, and I will talk to you next week. Thank you.